Okay, here we go with the next video now. This video we're going to talk about tuning your guitar or your bass. Again, both things, one video. These are the top 4 strings of your guitar. Same thing, you've just got 2 extras to do on your guitar. So let's get into it. So you've probably worked out by now that these things up here are for tuning the strings. So one way loosens the string, making it deeper, the other way tightens it, making it higher. Cool, pretty straightforward. If you've got a guitar that's going out of tune all the time, what you'll probably find is these things here, they're called machine heads. They're probably loose or poor quality. If you've got a cheap guitar, generally they'll go out of tune. The other things that put guitars out of tune are temperature. The strings are actually a form of metal. Metal expands and contracts with heat and cold, so that'll throw it out. If it's traveling and vibrating around, that'll throw it out too. So you need to know how to tune it, because how do you play anything right if you can't have a guitar that's in tune? So I'm going to show you a couple of different ways. Tune it. Right, so we're going to use this. You need to invest in one of these things. They are cheap as, this one here is probably like $20 or $30. You can get cheaper ones. You can get headstock ones that clamp onto the head of your guitar, which work surprisingly well. When I first came across those, I thought, how can that work? But it does, so technology is awesome. You can get pedal tuners. They're much more expensive, but they're great if you're on stage. It means you can turn your signal off while you're tuned, so not everybody's listening to you. But this is your generic type. So this one, if you've got an acoustic guitar like this, you can just go and play and it will pick up the sound around it, and you'll see there it's saying 6E, and it's telling me that it's a bit sharp. Now it's a bit flat, and that's where you want it, right in the middle there. Cool. So again, the strings on the guitar are numbered from the bottom. Same with the bass. So it'll call that 1E, 2B, 3G, 4D, 5A, and 6E. Cool. Why they number them from the bottom, I don't know. That's weird. I would have done it the other way, but hey, I didn't invent it, so that's cool. If you've got an electric guitar, you have got a input on one side. It's hard to do it backwards. Input. You've then got an output, so you can actually put this in a chain if you're going into an amp, but generally just tune before you start. Cool. So what I'm going to show you now is tuning by ear. The thing about tuning by ear is you need a starting point, a reference point. So I'm just going to check that 6E again. Cool, so that one's right. So that's going to be my starting point. Cool. You can tune to a piano if you've got a piano around, and as long as you can hear it. But the reason I want you to learn tuning by ear is that it's actually going to help develop your musical ear. Okay, so what I encourage you to do is to have the tuner set that first string, and then try it this way, and then just check yourself with the tuner. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to the 5th fret. 5th fret. And we're going to play the 5th fret on that top string there, and we're going to play the next one underneath open. So they are both the note A, and we want those to sound the same. So I'm just going to put it out so you can hear the second one there is lower. So you want to get them sounding the same. Cool, and you just do that down through the strings. When you get down here, so this is the 4th string down from the top, I need to come back from the 5th fret to the 4th fret. Okay, and that's all about the way the strings are relative to each other. We'll talk about that later on, but just know when you get down there, you come back a fret that's out slightly, but we won't muck around with that at the moment. Cool. And then back to the 5th for your last one there. So it's all about making those sound the same. So with that one, it's a little bit out, and you can sort of hear the two notes clashing against each other. If you've got an electric guitar and you've got it plugged into an amp, sometimes you can actually hear the wave patterns actually resonating against each other. But that's, yeah, I won't muck around with that at the moment. Cool. So and then what you do is you just go through with your tuner and you check if it's right. So with this, you've got a light on in the middle, the green one, to say it's right, and then you've got sharp and flat. Cool, and it'll tell you which way to go, and you just turn that peg accordingly. So with the guitar, if you're tuning this high one, sometimes the tuners won't pick it up, or it'll call it an A, which is the 5th. Sorry, other way around. E is the 5th of A, but it won't pick it up, and you've got to be careful you don't break that string. So just check it by ear just to see where you're at, and if you're starting to get too high, then just go back and find it again. Cool. So bass is the same thing. That's just E, A, D, G. You don't have so many strings to do. Bonus. Cool. So same thing. Set your top string. Obviously an electric bass like this, you're going to need to plug it in, and then same thing, 5th fret, open. Cool. There is a way to do this harmonically as well, but we won't look at that at the moment. Cool. So that is doing it by ear. So do it by ear first. It will help make your ear better, and then just check yourself with the tuner, and then you can see how far out you're getting, and whether you're tuning flat or sharp or whatever, and just trying to adjust accordingly. Cool. So I'm going to flick over onto a screenshot now with a tuner so you can see what's happening as we tune. Cool. Okay, so looking here now at what our tuner looks like. So most tuners are some form of this. This one is actually on the computer. Another thing, if you need to get hold of a tuner, if you have like a smartphone, you can actually download tuner apps. They're not always very good to work with, but they'll get you close enough in the meantime until you can get yourself a proper tuner. So a bit like this one, some of them are quite touchy. So this is a touchy tuner, but it'll give you an idea of what we're looking at. So that's my low E string there, and you can see actually it's gone up to an F, which is the next note, but you can see there it's a bit sharp. So I'm trying to get it in the middle there, and you'll see it flashes that blue light as it gets in the middle. Okay, so the more user-friendly tuners, you'll be able to get it to actually lock right onto that center there. Cool. So this one, the numbers are a bit different. The numbers you will see on an ordinary tuner will give you the string number there. This gives you an octave number, which is a little bit different. You can see that one's flat. So this is where we need to know what those open strings are as well, so we know that we're tuning them to the right note. So I've gone E, A, D and G, which is the same as what I'm going to have on my bass. These two are extras just for the guitar. Cool. And we're all in tune. Great, hope this has helped.